Yo, what's all of this bashing Egypt, man? And what they can't make a distinction amongst is us studying Egyptology as opposed to saying we are Egyptians. We don't walk around saying we Egyptians. We say we study the culture for what it has to offer. Yo, what's all of this bashing Egypt, man? And what they can't make a distinction amongst is us studying Egyptology as opposed to saying we are Egyptians. We don't walk around saying we Egyptians. We say we study the culture for what it has to offer. We ain't never claimed the nationality of Egypt. They got preconceived notions about the people that they debate because they don't take the time out to listen to the... Yo, what's all of this bashing Egypt, man? And what they can't make a distinction amongst is us studying Egyptology as opposed to saying we are Egyptians. We don't walk around saying we Egyptians. We say we study the culture for what it has to offer. We ain't never...
Lineage. Everybody can do that. We know historically right now that the modern day so-called Canadian is your modern day Sudanese and your Somalians. So we know exactly today who the Egyptians are, and they did not come from the slave trade. They didn't come through the slave trade. So we knowing that we're not Canadians, we're not Egyptian by blood and line. This is, you know, historically right now that the modern day so-called Canadian is your modern day Sudanese and your Somalians. So we know exactly today who the Egyptians are, and they did not come from the slave trade. They didn't come through the slave trade. So we knowing that we're not Canadians, we're not Egyptian by blood and line. This, you know, historically right now that the modern day so-called Canadian is your modern day Sudanese and your Somalians. So we know exactly today who the Egyptians are, and they did not come from the slave trade. They didn't come through the slave trade. So we knowing that we're not Canadians, we're not Egyptian by blood and line. This is...
Now in this video, this guy here gonna let y'all know who are really behind all of this Egyptology and trying to tell everybody that we're Egyptians now. Here we go.
Result of this, I've been able to connect with a lot of Masons, over hundreds of Masons, through other people like yourself, like Red Pill, setting Amin Ra and Washington D.C.
They want to get that. How?
Part 2. That's why they should buy it. And as a result of this, I've been able to connect with a lot of Masons, over hundreds of Masons, through other people like yourself, like Red Pill, setting Amin Ra and Washington D.C.
They want to get that.
Result of this, I've been able to connect with a lot of Masons, over hundreds of Masons, through other people like yourself, like Red Pill, setting Amin Ra and Washington D.C.
They want to get that.
Now y'all know who behind it all. Gotta look at the big picture. So now we got the whole Egyptology thing going on where everybody trying to say we're Egyptians now. First we was Africans, then we was Muslims. You know, we had the whole Malcolm X thing going on. Then we was Christians. You know, we had the MLK thing going on. Americans, African Americans, Moors, and now we Egyptians. Okay. This is one of the books I was reading on. Anybody can go to the library and get this probably. How the Great Pyramids was built. There's some esoteric hinting going on in this book where it talks about how the pyramids was built. I turned to a few pages. It talks about the Egyptian myths. Talks about Seth and how she conceived Horus on her husband's mummified body. In other words, she, you know, made out with a mummy, a dead man. And that's supposedly how Horus came about. I think that's right here. Y'all can see that. She conceived the son, Horus, right there on the top up here. Top line, Horus on her husband's dead, mummified body. Okay? So, we got, and then there's another story where she actually gets his phallus. You know, that's the term for, you know, the male genitalia. And she takes that and uses that, you know. It's just crazy. But yeah, that's in this book right here. Also in this book, it talks about the different quarries that helped build the pyramids. I'll show you right quick. It's got pictures of the pyramids in it, and for some reason they decided to put in here. I find it inconceivable that slaves were involved, even though nobody said nothing about that. So I figured, why would they even put that in there? And then we find out that one of the quarries is named after the Torah. I find that. This is on page 116 and 117. The Pharaoh here, high priest, scribes, overseer for the quarries, and the name of one of the quarries. Make sure y'all can see that right there. Okay. Hopefully y'all can see that good. That's Torah. That's the name of one of the quarries right there. That's this book right here. But yeah, also we got several other books here that I've been reading that just further shows that we are not Egyptians. We got In the Footsteps of Moses. You know, you can go to the library and get that one. It's a quick read. It's got just as many pictures and words. There's some pictures I'm gonna show y'all in that book too. It's gonna really kind of make you think. We got the Holy Land book. What life was like on the banks of the Nile. Got that. And what else we got here? We got this book, which is very interesting. Conversations with Mummies. Yeah, so we're going to just show a little bit of that. And like I said, I'm going to try to be quick about it. It's in and out. But now we're going to deal with In the Footsteps of Moses book, page 70. And I want to show the detail from a 14th century BC painting on the side panel of a wooden chest discovered in the tomb of Tutankhamun at Thebes. I'm going to show y'all this. On this, this is it says page 70. Okay, this was a painting on the side panel of a wooden chest discovered in the tomb of Tutankhamun at Thebes. And remember that name, Tutankhamun, all right? Because that's gonna help you get your timeline right. Your timeline, your highlights of ancient Egyptian chronology. You're gonna see Tutankhamun right here, from 1361 to 1352. Okay, this is during the New Kingdom, and this is not that far from Ramses II, which was supposedly the pharaoh during the time of the Exodus, right there. Then you had Merenpa, if I'm saying that right, Merenptah, or how you say his name, who went on a campaign after the Exodus to try to make Egyptians look good, like they won some great battle or something. And they even made a what they call the Israel Stele. I'll get into that too. But yeah, you got on your timeline, you got Tutankhamun, 1361, 1352. Tutankhamun. Okay, so we know around about the time when this was painted. Okay. Now, if you look at this, they're gonna show you what the Egyptians looked like back then. They had a lot of them had long hair. Okay, some of them was bald. They cut their hair a lot. You got the pharaoh on his chariot. Okay, and look at these people over here. Now, you're gonna know that these are not Egyptians. They look different. They got beards, and they have kind of bushy hair like a fro. You see the beards? See the beards? This is a relief painting now. These Egyptians supposedly fighting and fighting against these people, taking over these people. See that? Now these people who they oppressing and taking over are Hebrews. Anybody who read the scriptures know this. And like I say, this relief painting was painted during the time when the Hebrews was in Egypt. Okay? Because you had 1361 to 1352 was during the time of this painting, Tutankhamun, and then you had Horemheb, you had Sethos the first, and then you had Ramses. Because we built cities, a city named Ramses, which he named the city after him, Ramses the second. Okay, so and that was in 1304. So this is what your Hebrews look like according to them, those who painted this. So you take a good look. All right, those are Hebrews. They got the beards. The Egyptians over here, they don't have no beards. See there? None of them got beards. All right, now we on page 46 and 47. It says, foreign chieftains bring tribute to the Egyptian ruler, wall painting in the 15th century BC tomb in Thebes, the ancient capital of Upper Egypt. All right. Remember, these are foreigners. And there's your Hebrew again. The Hebrews had beards. See that? He got a beard. Their hair hanging down. Got a beard, and he got like hair, his hair pulled back. This is usually what my hair looks like when it's not braided. And he got like a banner on his head, but he's got a beard. Okay. A lot of the other people didn't have beards, but this guy got a beard. All right. Now we're gonna go to let's see, page 25. We'll go there. Page 25. Boom. Statue of Ramesses II. I can see that. Pharaoh at the time of the Exodus in one of the three temples at Abu Simbel on the west bank of the Nile in the province of Aswan. Ramesses built these temples as a monument to himself and his deeds. Okay, that's a picture right there of Ramesses. All right, and remember Ramesses II, his timeline according to this right here, it's gonna be 1236, 1223. No, I'm sorry, 1304 to 1237. That's Ramesses right there. This is how you say that name? Merimta. Yeah, that's him right there. But this is Ramesses II right there. And it ain't even not even about 50 years from this one here, Tutankhamun, right there. So around the same time that relief painting was painted, with the Hebrews supposedly being run over or whatever by Tutankhamun. All right. Then you got Ramesses II. And remember, Marinpa, if I'm saying that right, I don't even know. But anyway, this name right here, with the M, that's the one that made that Steely, the Israel Steely, which I'll show that right quick too. And they bragged about the victory over Yasharal and how Yasharal is no more, or we was gone. I'm assuming that it means we was gone out the land, because Ramses II was the pharaoh during the Exodus. So he's saying we was gone. I'll show you that too. Now this right here is a website of the Israel Stela, Merneptah Stele, however you say it. I'm probably not saying it right. But anyway, I'm smart enough to know how to read enough Egyptian hieroglyphics to see the name of Yasharal. And I've seen that on this stone. Alright, and on this website it gives you the dates of Ramesses II, who reigned in Egypt. Let me get a little closer. Right there. Right here, gonna give you the dates of Ramesses II, who reigned in Egypt around 1215 BC during the time of the judges of Yasharal. All right. And this is the hieroglyphs. And the name of Yasharal is right here. Wait, you can't see my finger. Wait, let me go. Right. There we go. It's right here. From here to where you got these two people sitting down. I hope y'all can see that. But it's going to be from here to here. We'll try to zoom in on it. Oh goodness, oh goodness. No, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. Let me try to just do it like this, because I want y'all to see that so y'all can see what it looks like. Because you might see it again, you might see it somewhere else. But yeah, right here, let me get a pen. I'll point to it with this pen right here. But from, let me get it in there. And from right here on over to here. So here to here, that's Yasharal right there. And they say Israel, but they're pronouncing it wrong. It's Yasharal. From here to there, that's Yasharal. Alright? And this is the name of it. That M word, Memtha Stele text, and it tells you what it says on there, what they translated. And at the bottom it says Yasharal is wasted, bare of seed. Right at the bottom down there. And that's another picture of it, what it looks like. Yeah.
Right. My brother just said something to me last night about the Masonic Lodge.
Wow.
I said, you know, I
That's
never
hot
thought
right
about
there.
that.
Right. Me
I
neither.
never thought about
I
it.
always thought about the Moors.
Damn, we got to get Prince Hall or somebody. You
Yeah.
see me?
Yeah.
You see me? Like, that's a crazy idea.
Right.
You know, I was Deputy Grand Master of the Lodge, and my jurisdiction went down from Canada to the Mason-Dixon Lodge.
Well, they're going to start calling you a Mason now.
Well,
for
they
like,
did.
you know how
Somebody
you
said I had a checker jacket on. You could tell that.
Yeah, I saw that comment
I was
too.
like, you know, I was Deputy Grand Master of the Lodge, and my jurisdiction went down from Canada to the Mason-Dixon Lodge.
Well, they're going to start calling you a Mason now.
Well,
for
they
like,
did. You know, I was Deputy Grand Master of the Lodge, and my jurisdiction went down from Canada to the Mason-Dixon Lodge.
Well, they're going to start calling you a Mason now.
Well,
for
they
like,
did.
you know how
Somebody.
Where you've got to study the migration patterns of the world. You've got to study the migration patterns of the world. You've got to study the migration patterns of the world. Where did those Western Asian people go? I see no migration pattern that took them into Europe. I do see a migration pattern that took a large number of them into inner West Africa, where a large number of people of the Hebrew faith lived in ancient Ghana, lived in
That's what they said. Now, if most of us do a DNA test right now, we'll trace our lineage back to West Africa. This is a fact. I'm from the Igbo tribe, Nigeria. Over 75% of my blood. They said that thing.
I'm not even going to go into the rest of what he said. Alright, now I'm going to briefly kind of talk about the differences between us and Egyptians, just right quick, because back in the day it would have been hard to tell us apart, because even in scripture we see where even Moses was thought to be an Egyptian. We see where Joseph's brothers didn't recognize him because they thought he was an Egyptian. And I was thinking, how could someone tell if I'm an Egyptian or not? Because if you can't tell if I'm an Egyptian or not, then I could be an Egyptian. So there had to be something that showed that the difference between the two, just like the picture that I showed, the painting that was in the, where was that at? the painting of the Hebrews with the beards. You know, and you had Pharaoh's chariot. So they would always depict the Hebrews with beards because that was part of our law. You know, you can read in the scriptures right now where it say, "Don't mar the corners of your beard." And some of us, our beards actually grows with corners. My beard, it grows naturally. It has corners on it. I don't cut it like that. It just grow like that. You know, I got a corner right here. See how it goes like this, and then it goes down into a corner, and does the same thing over here. It grows like that, and it goes to a corner. So a lot of us got corners on our beard, and you know, I don't cut my corners off. But at first I was thinking that maybe Joseph showed his brothers that he was circumcised, but I found out that the Egyptians practiced circumcision too. It was kind of like a rite of passage into manhood. So by that time, you know, that wouldn't have been nothing to really show Joseph's brethren that he was in fact a Hebrew. So I looked more to the hair, to the headpiece, because even in the relief paintings that I saw, the Egyptians' hair was depicted as different from ours, even in the paintings. And you didn't see Egyptians with beards and stuff, but the Hebrews wore beards. So I said, and I looked at the headdresses, how the men of royalty wore headdresses. There's some examples in this book. If I can find one right quick. But first I want to show you this. I want to show you this first. Show you the circumcision thing that I was talking about. How that the Egyptians was practicing circumcision. That's in this book right here. This is What Life Was Like on the Banks of the Nile, page 61. Right here, let me get out of there. Okay. Yeah, it says a boy of 10 or 12 undergoes circumcision, a procedure that may have marked the transition to manhood. So, and they got, you know, them doing the circumcision. So they practiced circumcision back in Egypt. So that's when I had to go with the hair. I said, well, I'm going to just, but yeah, that's in this book. You can go to the library and get that. I got all kind of books. I just went crazy. I went to the library. I got all kind of books. But I'm just trying to do this quick because you don't have to read the whole book to see that we're not Egyptians. I mean, it's so obvious. And when I first heard people saying this, I was like, no, y'all can't. Y'all got to be kidding me. Y'all saying we're Egyptians now? Oh man, you know, I was like, what else? What else? You know, there was so many different things they were saying about us and who we were. Okay, and this is one of the pictures I was talking about where they got the headdress on. Even though this is a statue, it just shows you how they would wear the headdresses. So you couldn't see their hair, and you know Egyptians didn't wear beards. This one's got some hanging from his chin, but it's not a beard like how we had. We had the full beard with corners, but this guy, he's not wearing a full beard. You know, that's the headpiece that Joseph probably would have had on when his brothers saw him. That's what I was talking about earlier. And this picture here it says, each infantryman below carries a copper-bladed spear and a shield that bears his personal design, perhaps to make it more readily identifiable when a call to action demanded quick retrieval from the weapon's catch. These carved and painted wooden figurines found in a Middle Kingdom tomb offer a rare and detailed portrait of the common Egyptian soldier of that time. And if you notice, none of these men have beards. This was what the Egyptian soldiers looked like during that time. When they found these just like this. Now I'm on page 108. The mummified head of Squinenri Teo II, the Egyptian king, yeah, who led the revolt against the Hyksos, bears witness to the honors of hand-to-hand combat. A modern diagnosis of the wounds revealed that his skull was pierced in several places by an axe blade, a mace, and a spear. And if you look at this mummified head of this Egyptian king, notice that his hair is not bushy and black. It's not bushy. You know, it don't even have to be black. I'll go with that. It could have unfaded for the many hundreds of years, but his hair, he doesn't have bushy black hair. Okay, I hope y'all can see that good. See, all right. And this here, we're on page 136. This 137, 136 shows another picture of an Egyptian with the headdress on. What I was talking about. Okay, so if a Hebrew put on a headdress, and you know he's shaving, because you know the Egyptians were clean shaven, you know, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart, because Egyptians was black, but what we're pointing out is that they're not Hebrew. Okay, and we're not Egyptians, but the Egyptians are not Hebrews, and we're not Egyptians, but we look alike because the Egyptians are black and we're black. Okay, but we're not Egyptians, and this is besides the fact that Polite himself already said we're not, saying that we're Egyptians. Okay. All right, now right quick, I'm gonna show some pictures in this book, Conversations with Mummies, so y'all can see the actual hair of some of these mummies. I asked somebody on Facebook to show me the mummy with an afro, or with woolly hair. They still haven't done it yet. That's another depiction of a headdress. But yeah, they still haven't done it yet. And, you know, they're trying to make fun of it. And then one person had the nerve to tell me, well, those are white people. Yeah. But anyway, here's another mummy right here. Yeah, see the hair? Look at the hair. See that? I hope y'all can see that. That's the hair on this mummy. Alright? But yeah, when you look at these mummies, you're going to see that they don't have hair like us. And these are actual old Egyptian people who have been mummified, and they don't have woolly hair like a bush. This, page 26 of this book, is a recreation of a mummy that they did. And let's look at the hair. Well, look at there.